Hi everyone, I'm John, and welcome back to Puzzle Me This. This is part 7, so it is the 6-month update on the 42,000 piece around the world jigsaw puzzle. Now I started sorting the pieces on January 9th, 2023, and today is July 1st, 2023. That's why I have my July 4th shirt on. So that is technically 25 weeks, but it's close enough to 26 weeks, which is half a year. So I just figure this is the half-year update. Now, when I started this, I thought it would probably take a year, because a year is a long time. But Mom has everyone guess who comes over when they think we'll be done, and she writes them in the book. And a couple people online have guessed. John Marshall, 9065, his guess was February 29th, 2028, which is 5 years. Now, his theory is he's figuring 20 pieces per day, every day. And that's the date that he comes up with. Logic Master Steve, a couple months ago, he guessed 22 months, which would put him about November of 2024. So, November of next year. So, if anybody else wants to guess, leave it in the comments, and I'll put your name down in the book. You don't really win anything. You just get a pat on the back and an attaboy, or an attagirl. So far, we are at 1,363 and a half hours. So 1,363 hours total time worked on the puzzle. I divided that by 25 weeks to see what the average weekly time spent on the puzzle was. And it comes out to 54.5 hours. And I added up my time, my own personal time, and divided that by 25 weeks. And I've spent an average of 27.7 hours a week up here. So let me show you what we have done so far. I'll show you what we've done on the cardboards, and then I'll take the cardboards off and show you what's on the table. First, let me show you what we've added this month. We put a television up here. And let me show you what we've done. I hooked the laptop up to the TV with a HDMI cable. And the reason for that is because it's a lot easier to see details on the big television than just on this little poster. My original idea was to take pictures of the poster, and then I could put them on the laptop and blow them up as big as I needed to and see them on the television. But there is a website called Adrian Chesterman, World's Biggest Jigsaw Puzzle, which it probably was at the time. And it has a picture of each section, the full width, and then you have to scroll up and down to see the whole thing. This is the first part of the web page. And then if you scroll down, you'll have each section of the puzzle. And you can see a lot more detail on that than you can just by looking at the poster. Just as an example, you know, these buildings over here would be this size, but now they're that size on the television. And just as an example, this plane over here is the same plane that's right here on the poster. So you can see the size difference that it makes, and a lot more detail. This is a 55-inch TV, which means horizontally it's probably 46 or 47 inches. And each section of the puzzle is around 42 inches, give or take. So this image is actually bigger than the actual puzzle is. So this really helps. Mom thinks it'll really help when we're doing things like in between buildings or real little parts where it's just hard to see detail. We think that that will show up a lot better on the television. We've used it a couple times already and it has helped. So in the future here we'll see if that makes a difference. But it is a really big image and a lot more detail. Okay. Okay, let me show you the cardboards that we have. A lot of these might be the same of what you saw last month, with some pieces added, hopefully, and a couple new things that we started working on. It's a little easier to work on the cardboards when we start something new because we can have it right against the edge of the table and it's a lot easier to reach. Once we put stuff where it goes on the table, if it happens to be in the middle of the puzzle, then it's just a pain trying to reach all the time to try pieces. So that's why we have them on the cardboards until we get a lot done, then we put it on the table where it goes. These are the signs. These are some pink and orange and light purple pieces that I have left over from the sky, and they will probably go in some of the lower elevations of the sky. These are some blue pieces that I picked out. I've been working on the blue section of the sky, and I'll put a video in here. It's probably about 30 seconds or so long, and it'll show you the pieces, the blue sky pieces that I picked out and sorted according to shape. Here are all my blue pieces sorted according to shape. Okay, so that was what I started with, and these are what is left of the blue pieces. And I'll show you my work on the blue sky when I take all the cardboards off. Some yellows. These are some sky pieces with orange sky and some mountain. And these are pyramid pieces. And we're kind of getting the plane put in there. These are some pattern pieces that Mom was looking at. And these are some oranger pieces. We were working on an oranger building on the other side. I'll show you then. These are pattern pieces. These are pattern pieces also here. These are like a deep brown or orangish color. Some of them might be maybe the Ayers Rock color. And here's some yellows. There's some cardboards that I have emptied. I did take 10 of them out and put my sky pieces on. My blue sky pieces. This is the Blue Mosque, I believe, in Istanbul. And we're getting some of that done. And the Viking boat. And some balloons. And things in the sky there. Looks like a hang glider also there. That is the base of the Christ the Redeemer statue. That, I don't know if I can... I don't know if I can hold this up without it falling off. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is actually that part there. So it should be actually about the same size. The TV image will be just a little bigger, but not too much. I could have had this cardboard up there had I planned these videos out a little better. But then here's the motorcycle. It's starting to come together. It's really hard to tell what those pieces are. A couple more signs. Some black pieces. This is animals. And this is some more building pieces and roof pieces. That once in a while we'll find one that looks like that. Now these pieces here, they're towers that are going to come up into the sky. And I should soon be to them over where I'm working there. Here's some reddish pieces that Mom has been working on. And some brick tower pieces. And some more orange pieces. And these are green pieces that have that certain texture that Mom was kind of grouping them together. And I think the greens are going to be hard because there's a lot of greens. This pile back here is green pieces, yellow pieces in the front. Here there's a lot of those too. And then brown pieces, red pieces. These in front here are building pieces. Those are skyline pieces. These here are sky pieces and mountain pieces. And these here are blue pieces in this pile. These are birds. Okay, I'll take the cardboards off and see what we actually have on the table. Okay, I have the cardboards off the table. And like I said at the beginning, we've been working on this for 6 months. So, if you imagine everything that's on the table and have it all shoved down to this end, this chair back right here is actually 2 sections. That's 2 sections of puzzle on the other side of the chair. And I think everything on the table would easily fit in that space. Now this line right here is the 8-foot line, and the puzzle is a little over 24 feet in length. So if everything on the table that was together was shoved down to that end, if it would come to that line right there, that would be 1/3 of the puzzle complete, which would mean that it would take us 1.5 years to do it. But I don't know if we're quite there yet. But I think where the back of the chair is there, I think that we could fill that space in with pieces that are completed. Let me come up around here. This is the sky that I've been working on. A lot of the pink and purple here I had done last month. It took me a month to do that, maybe up to about here or so. And this month I started on the purple, and that took me about a week to do this purple section. There wasn't as much purple, and the mountains and buildings came up high in the sky, so there wasn't as much purple there. That took a week. But the rest of this blue here that I sorted out according to shape, I've been putting in. And I kind of did it down to here. This was a little darker right here than I was going to do, but I had these. Mom, I think, had them put together, so I wanted to get them put in. And there are a few airplanes that are in this section of sky, and a couple. That's a rocket there. That's the Russian rocket. And another bird here. And there's some more birds now that I'm getting down into. But the sky is pretty low in the middle section, or the middle sections. So there's going to be a lot of sky there to do. And it is really hard doing it. Donna Louise and some other people have mentioned about a pattern. And there is a pattern, but sometimes where you get the breaks in the sections here and the pieces in between sections, well, this is the section here, and then over to here, this here is the middle of this seventh section. But those joints aren't always the same. It seems like if you go a piece or two further, then it's the same again as you go. But I have noticed, where is it here? Right here. There is a 4 out. And 6 months of working on the puzzle, and that is the only 4 out that I've ever seen. So I'm thinking it goes close to one of these joints on the border or in the middle of a section, and that was just different enough that it needed a 4 out. Because I think if there would have been 42 4 outs, that I would have seen one before now. But so this is 3 weeks work here, putting the blue together, and there is a repeating pattern, like Donna Louise said, and sometimes I'll count, over from the edge and down, and think, okay, I need that piece, and then look for it on my cardboards of that shape. And that does work. Sometimes I think it's easier to just take a shape like that and then just go through every single place and try it and see if it fits. And if it doesn't, then get another one and try that. I think that works almost as well. So I've kind of been doing both. Let me circle back around here. A lot of this stuff will look the same, but we'll have a few more pieces added to it. The Las Vegas sign, once in a while we find more of that. And the love statue, that's slowly getting together. We'll find a piece of that once in a while. Once in a while, Dad will get the urge to work on the yellow part of the checkered cab some. the Statue of Liberty. Shauna, who you met a couple months ago, she was working on the Statue of Liberty, and that's starting to take shape. We got it hooked to the US 101 sign, and it will connect to the Washington, D.C. sign once we get up closer to her shoulder over there. And different things here. Elizabeth Tower. Somebody in the comments told me to look for that sideways clock in the pattern section. And I forget who that was, but thank you. I did thank them in the comments. I did find 2 pieces of it in there, so I need to look through there some more. Maybe I can find the rest of it. This is the Conquerors of Space monument in Russia. And I don't know if that was on the table last time or still on cardboards. This is St. Basil's Church in Moscow. And we've been working on that. And that has some towers here coming up. And that will come into the sky. So they will connect up there someplace. Right now we have it down here because it's easier to reach and get to. But once we get a good bit of it more done, maybe I'll set it up in the sky. I'm not at it yet, but as I work my way down and over, I'll hopefully be able to fit that in and connect it. Some of this other stuff I did show you up there. That'll get connected to the sky sometime. I'm not down to it yet either. We have some different things. We've added some more to this. This is Jake, Shauna's husband, that you met a couple months ago also. He was working on this building. This is the Hawa Mahal in India. I'm probably not saying that right. But that's what this building is. And last month, if you remember, there was a bunch of orange pieces that Mom had picked out with a textured pattern on. And that's where a lot of them went. And there's still a cardboard with some orange on it, or a couple of cardboards with orange. And those pieces probably do fit in here someplace. Dad was working on the tiger down here. And the Terracotta Army. It's amazing how when the pieces are together, it really makes sense what it is. But if you look at a piece separate, just by itself, it's hard to tell what it even goes to. Mom or Dad or both of them were working on this beach hut from Australia. That has a glare on it. There we go. And they're getting more of it. They do have it connected now, I see, to the border. And the surfboards are slowly starting to come together. We're getting a little more of them. And a lot of this. So, okay, that's it for this month. Thank you so much for watching. And go put your puzzle together.